No hate, no hype, no fear.
You're listening to Truth Frequency Radio.
TREFR.
Your DIY Health Radio. Your DIY Health Radio. Your DIY Health Radio.
I am Ramm, if you can call me
Health Radio.
System clock is acting up, and I don't know if I'm live or not. I didn't hear anything. I've been having a hard time getting into the system this morning. If there's anybody in the chat room that can let me know whether I'm on the air or not, I would appreciate it. Jeff, was that a yes on me? Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on here. All I've had is nothing but silence since for the last half hour trying to get into the system. I don't know if they're having some issues at the network or what, but anyway, what a way to start the day. Well, I don't know if you heard it or not, but I have a new theme song, so hopefully that came out and you had a chance to hear it. And I want to thank Precious and Don in New Jersey for putting it together for me. I'm going to turn myself down just a smidge here because I think I had it set for a different thing I was producing yesterday. Anyway, you are listening to Your DIY Health Radio, and we're here on Truth Frequency Radio Network. I'm your host, Sergeant Jim Ramm, retired, and as the bumper music said, you can call me Sarge. And it is Thursday, May 5th, 2016. And again, I'd like to thank Precious and Don for putting that new theme song together for me. This program is meant to present nutritional information only and is in no way meant to replace the advice of a competent medical professional. I'm not a doctor, and that's a good thing. In my opinion, the doctors most people go to see when they have a health issue, which are MDs, are wrapped around the axle of their training. Unfortunately, their training is in drugs and surgery, and it doesn't equip them to treat the over 900 chronic health issues that are proven to be a result of a nutritional deficiency. I'm simply someone who's been studying under the tutelage of one of, if not the top nutritional authorities in the world, Dr. Joel Wallach. Now, I don't treat diseases, I don't even treat people. I simply advise people on how to give their bodies the raw materials they need to support and maintain good health. And when the body has what it needs, it'll fix itself. The body wants to fix itself. The body knows how to fix itself. It's got a God-given innate ability to do so. The only thing that's missing is the raw materials. And when you put those back into the equation, just sit back and prepare to be amazed. Your body will do some outstanding things that you never thought possible simply by giving it the raw materials it needs to stay healthy. Now, you can visit my websites at yourdiyhealth.com. That's Y-O-U-R-D-I-Y, like do-it-yourself, health, H-E-A-L-T-H, YOURDIYHEALTH.com. 90forlife.healthcare, that's 90forlife.healthcare, and deaddoctorsradio.healthcare, DEADDOCTORSRADIO, deaddoctorsradio.healthcare. Lots of good information on all three of those sites, and you'll be very happy with the stuff that you find there, I think. Also, we've got a toll-free number for information, product orders. That's 855-80-YOUNG, 855-809-6864. One more time, 855-809-6864. We've got great folks on the other end of the line waiting to take your calls and to help you out with any issues you might have. If you're interested in our home-based business opportunity, it's one of the finest in the world. I suggest you talk to them about that as well. Everybody needs a financial plan B in this today's economy, and I've done a great thing with it, and so have the people on these lines, and they'll be able to tell you all about that as well. You can email me at jim@yourdiyhealth.com. That's JIM at YOURDIYHEALTH.com. And we encourage you to like the program on Facebook, Go to facebook.com/Your DIY Health Radio. Or you can just go to Facebook and put that in the search. It'll come right up, Your DIY Health Radio. And encourage you to like the program there, because that way other folks can find out about it. And slowly but surely we're growing, and we're getting lots of good comments, and people are liking things and following it and that kind of stuff. I just posted a whole bunch of new articles there this morning. Some of the things we'll be talking about during the first hour today. Now, in the second hour, my guest will be the one and the only Dr. Peter Glidden. He's been a regular guest almost every month until last November, and then things got really busy for him, and he had to take some time off. But he's back with us today, and I'm expecting a lot of good stuff from him. We're going to have some fun. And we'll be taking calls, so if you've got questions, you'll be able to call in and ask him about those kind of things. And don't hesitate. If you've got a health issue that you need information on and you didn't get in last week when Dr. Wallach was here, then by all means, give us a call today when I open up the phones. And I'm just typing a little note into the chat room. Hey, there we go. Hi guys in the chat room, good to see everybody. Glad you're here. Glad you're able to hear me. You know, I don't know what was going on. I guess from what I got a note from Roger Sales yesterday saying they were having some streaming problems with the network, and I'm guessing that they must still be having some issues because, like I said, at the top of the hour, you know, I tried to log in here about 8:30 my time, 6 or 5:30 Pacific, and I got nothing. And it was right up to the point where there was nothing there until I started talking, and I was just hoping. But it's showing I've got 5 minutes until the next break, so I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to try and refresh my screen and see if that changes anything. Hopefully I won't disappear. But, hey, look at that, it did. Now I've got 19 minutes and 46 seconds till the next break. And hopefully I'm still on the air. So anyway, we've got wonderful weather here in central Ohio. It's been about as crappy as it can get. This morning I woke up, it was like 40 degrees and rainy, and last week was nice and sunny. It's crazy. But anyway, I wanted to talk today about one of the biggest lies ever told, next to the one like I'm from the government and I'm here to help you, or, you know, the income tax is just paying your fair share, or those kind of things, or vaccines are safe and effective. But no, this one has really killed more people than all the wars that this country's ever been involved in. What's that lie? Here it is. You can get everything you need from eating your 4 main food groups. There is no need to supplement. That'll just give you expensive urine. Guess what? The idiots that tell you that are either major idiots or they are engaged in a massive cover-up and a population control experiment. Because it is impossible to get everything you need. And that's a proven fact. That's not conjecture. That's not somebody's opinion. That's a proven fact. You know, Dr. Joel Wallach, the guy that was on with us last week, that Doctors Don't Lie guy, literally has written the book on nutrition. And it is in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. It's called The Diseases of Exotic Animals. And it was the result of a 12-year, $25 million federally funded study that looked into, they were looking for something that they could use, an animal that they could use like a canary in the coal mine when it came to pollution. They were all worried, this is shortly after the Minamata incident in Japan, where somebody released millions of gallons of mercury into Minamata Bay. And all the plankton ate up the mercury, and then the little fish ate the plankton, and the big fish ate the little fish, and then the people ate the big fish, and the next thing you know, we had all kinds of birth defects and people getting sick from mercury toxicity and that kind of thing. So they wanted to do some research to try and figure out what animal they could use as a early warning system, so to speak, for pollution. And again, the result of it was a $25 million 12-year study that resulted in the book called Diseases of Exotic Animals by Dr. Joel Wallach. And the result of that study was pollution's not really a problem unless you have a major event, kind of like what they had in Minamata, Japan. But generally speaking, pollution's really not an issue. What's more important, and what Dr. Wallach proved through all that study, was that the vast majority of animals that died of so-called natural causes died of a nutritional deficiency disease. And that's pretty much true for people as well. But he mapped out all kinds of issues that, they could relate to specific nutrient deficiencies. But the proof, or the main thing that he proved and that everybody needs to know, is that every vertebrate, whether it's human, biped, quadruped, doesn't make any difference. If you got bones and you breathe air and that kind of stuff, you need 90 essential nutrients every single day to stay healthy. They're called essential because your body needs them, but your body can't make them. And that's a major situation. Things like, well, just give you a list, 60 minerals. Things like iron, copper, boron, strontium, vanadium, chromium, I don't think einsteinium's one of them. Neodymium, there's a whole mess of them, some that you've never even heard of. Magnesium, you've heard of. Iodine, and the list goes on and on and on. But there's 60 minerals that you need. Then 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 essential fatty acids. Those are all things that you need every single day, but you cannot manufacture within the walls of your body, which means they need to go down the hatch every single day. Problem is, it's impossible to get that stuff from the food that we eat, and that's a major issue. So what do? The only thing you can do is supplement. Unfortunately, that's your only choice. There are no other options. So how do you supplement? Do you go to GNC or your local grocery store or Walgreens or CVS and buy the stuff off the shelf? Well, if you do, guess what? Studies have shown over and over and over again that the stuff that you buy in stores, number one, is not complete. Number two, many times there's absolutely nothing in the container that's on the label. It's just all filler. Or it's massively reduced amounts. It might be 20% of what's on the label. And it's extremely low quality, so your body can't assimilate it. Not to mention the fact that there's only one company on the planet that I've been able to track down so far that provides all 90 nutrients in a single package to make it easy and cost-effective to get everything you need in one place. And that's the Youngevity Corporation. And unfortunately, I won't say unfortunately, but the fact is, in any industry, any single thing, there's always got to be somebody who is number one. That's just the way life is. There's always one that's going to be the best. Look at the Olympics. You got one who's the best, you got one who's the second best, you got one who's the third best, and a whole bunch of others that don't, are there, but nobody cares about them. It's sad but true. And that's the same case in nutritional supplements. Someone has to be number one, and when it comes to nutrition, Youngevity is number one, hands down, with no question. And you'll hear that more from Dr. Glidden today. And he is not a Youngevity distributor. I am because they saved my life. I was on my way, I was literally circling the drain in 2012. I was afraid to buy green bananas because my health was such bad shape. I didn't know if I'd be around to see them ripen. When I got on these products, they did what nothing else I had been trying for years could do. They got rid of my high blood pressure. For years and years and years, I was 185 over 120, and I refused to go on medication. My doctor, the MD I was working with at the time, every time I went in, if you aren't better, you're getting on these pills. No, I'm not. And I was doing everything that I thought was the right thing to do. I was exercising, and I was eating right, and of course I wasn't eating right, and the exercise does nothing to help you. It makes you worse. And if you've got health issues, the last thing you want to do is exercise. Simple as that. But anyway, within 30 days, my blood pressure was 99/77. This morning I took it, it was 120/80. Right on the money, just where it ought to be. I'm not on any medication. 58 years old, almost 59, and no meds, no nothing. You know, besides that, I got rid of AFib and heart palpitations, all kinds of stuff. Arthritis was gone in 30 days. Within 90 days, I rebuilt the cartilage in my knees. I threw away my cane, and I stopped limping. And this was all things that my doctor told me was irreversible, and I would be on medication and may require surgery for. My wife, who is a registered nurse who's been working in orthopedics and total hip and knee replacements for the last 25 years, was bugging me for probably a good 5 years before I got on Youngevity, saying I needed to get my knees fixed. And I said, I do need to get them fixed, but not what you're thinking. You know, I will never be in the OR, you know, give you a chance to paint funny things on me while I'm asleep and whatever else you guys do. I said, no thanks. I am keeping the stuff that God gave me, and I'm going to find the way that He has provided to fix them. And I did. Thank God for Joel Wallach. And that's basically the situation. So, you know, I was living proof that even though I was trying, I knew I couldn't get what I needed in food, and I was supplementing and doing things, but the supplements I got were crap. And Gwen Olson, who's been on this program in the past, used to be a drug rep. She wrote a book called Confessions of a RX Drug Pusher. And she's going to be on again here in June. But she gave stories when she was working for Big Pharma. They would say that, you know, don't worry about the nutritional companies. You know, if we can't beat them, we will kill them. And that's, you know, because they were taking a chunk out of their bottom line. So what they do, they buy them up, and they make sure that the company's producing crappy products that don't do any good, so you'd be forced right into your drugs. And one of the big ones, the one you see advertised on TV, is the #1 pharmacist recommended supplement, Nature's Made. Guess what? Owned by Big Pharma. And would I ever use those things? Absolutely not. You might as well just crumple your money up, throw it in the toilet, and give it a good flush. Because, you know, save your hard, you know, stuff, you know, save it going through your digestive tract and screwing you up. Anyway, you need supplementation. And the thing is, and this is for all you folks out there that, you know, think you're healthy. There's a major, major difference between being healthy and being symptom-free. If you are taking these supplements from Youngevity, chances are you are healthy. If you are not, but you feel good, you're only symptom-free. The shoe hasn't dropped yet, but it's going to. Not a question of if, but a question of when. You're going to have problems, and the smart people who listen to this program get on board ahead of time, because as the old adage says, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Now, I would go so far as to say a whole lot more than a pound, maybe a ton. I wish I had been on these things a long time ago so that my knees never went bad, so that my heart never went haywire, so my blood pressure never went sky high, so I never got arthritis. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And the key is getting on the right stuff for your body weight, because that's the other thing that's funny. If you go to the store and pick up any vitamin off the shelf, it'll say adults take this much, children take this much. What if you got a 100-pound adult or a 300-pound child? If you go to that same store, go to the dog food aisle, check a bag of dog food. It'll say for a 5-pound dog feed this much, for a 10-pound dog feed this much, for a 50-pound dog feed this much. And it gets more and more and more. Now, why is it animals need more in the process if they're bigger? But it's one size fits all with the junk that you buy in the stores. because it doesn't make any difference how much that stuff you take. It's not going to do you any good. So they don't care. At least this way, the stuff will last a certain length of time, and then they know you'll come back for more. But the bottom line is you need so much nutrition per 100 pounds of body weight. And Youngevity actually doses everything by that standard. So if you weigh 100 pounds, or if you're 150 or less, you can squeeze one healthy start pack is a good place to start. If you don't have anything else going on, get one of those puppies and take it, every day for a month, and you won't believe how much better you feel. You'll have more energy, you'll sleep better, you have more mental clarity. Everything will feel better. Odd times, every once in a while, there's somebody who has got their body so screwed up over the years that there's an adjustment process that takes place. They may detox, they may have some strange, trying to think of the best word, I don't want to say reactions, but anyway, it's just one of those things where you need to keep track of things, and if you have a weird feeling or something, don't quit. Contact me or somebody else, one of the people on my call line, talk to them, and they'll walk you through the process. But the bottom line is you need this stuff. If you take it and you have a weird reaction or something tastes funny or something like that, it doesn't mean you don't need it. You need it more. And that's been in my experience. The more screwed up somebody is, the more issues they have when they take the stuff. And not always the case. I have some people that are really, really messed up. And the other side of the coin is the more messed up you are, the quicker you feel results. And that's another nice thing. Hey, Shane's now a U.S. national. Awesome. Welcome to the club, buddy. Anyway, just one of those things where you need to take the right stuff to get the right results. And there is nothing out there that's better than Youngevity. If there is, it's one of the best kept secrets on the planet, because Dr. Glidden, who you're going to hear at the top of the next hour, is a naturopathic physician with 27 years of clinical experience. And several years ago, he did a recording called, trying to remember, it was called Healing is Easy. I believe that's the one it was on. And he talked about during the course of his time, which at that point was like 22 or 23 years of clinical experience, he had looked at over 200 different nutraceutical companies trying to find the best stuff to use in his practice. And out of those 200 companies he looked at, only 3 made the cut. The other 197 were, just garbage. And out of those 3, Youngevity was number 1, miles ahead of the other 2, which are only available by prescription. So that should give you an idea. And again, Dr. Glidden is not a distributor. He's just a major cheerleader for Youngevity because he has never seen anything in his 27 years that give the results that these do. Don't worry about, I always tell people to read labels, with one exception. When you're taking Youngevity products, don't bother reading the labels. Just take it. There are things in Youngevity's products, things like potassium sorbate and other things that are in there because they have to be in there. They are not harmful. That's just an internet fallacy. There are preservatives because a lot of our products are liquid in nature. You have to have preservatives or the things just will not keep. And the company uses the absolute best stuff you can get in the lowest possible amounts to make everything work right. And too many people will look at and they'll start reading labels. Oh, this is in here, that causes cancer. No, it doesn't. And Dr. Glidden actually did a webinar about that a couple of years ago because people were acting so goofy about the products because, you get these people that are so anal retentive that read the labels and look at every single thing, and either they're just hyper paranoid or they're just looking for an excuse not to take the stuff. I'm not sure which, but the bottom line is everybody needs it, and you are far more at risk by not taking these supplements than any possible perceived risk you could possibly face by taking the supplements with the preservatives or whatever else that you're afraid of is in there. And I'm living proof. I mean, I've been taking these things for the last 4 years now. I haven't grown a third eye or a 10th, 11th finger or anything like that. I am healthier today. I'm alive today. And I don't think I would have been had I not been taking this stuff. So, save yourself the hassle and the headache. Talk to one of our people. We'll tell you what's right for the type of things you're trying to deal with. And just get the stuff and take it the way we tell you. Don't worry about anything else. You will see results. And you will not get sick from it. Okay? So hopefully that'll clear some things up. But the bottom line is, we need 90 essential nutrients every single day. It's impossible to get those things in food or any other way but to supplement. And the best supplements out there, bar none, with no questions asked, are Youngevity. They're the only ones that provide all 90 nutrients in optimal amounts for your body weight to get you going in the right direction and get you back on track. So we've got maybe 30 minutes or 30 seconds before the music starts, I think. And if the timer is now right, and hopefully I'll hear the music because I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm just going to have to watch the clock constantly in case something else comes up. But, it should be here soon. And I'm not yet, so who knows. But anyway, maybe you're hearing it, one way or another. We will be back at the in 3 minutes, and we'll continue on. But stand by for through this break, and we'll be back with more Your DIY Health Radio. Take care.
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We are proud to bring you cutting-edge programs like The Kev Baker Show, The Freedom Link with Joe Joseph, Truth Frequency with Chris and Shirley Geo, The Christopher Everard Show, X Squared with Brooks Agnew, Down the Rabbit Hole with Popeye, Freaky Friday with The Wool Crew, Waking Up the Masses with Robert Bruce, Phoenix Rising Radio, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any computer, mobile device, or from any telephone by dialing 832-225-5308 or call into your favorite show toll-free at 866-37-TRUTH. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media 24 hours a day. Truth Frequency Radio. We are your protection from deception.
Greetings, Earth Explorers. My name is Brooks Agnew, and I am your host on X Squared Radio every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Truth Frequency Radio Network. This is where the past meets the future. We explore the mysteries of the universe and of the Earth. We might go a little past your imagination, but have no fear. You will be safely traveling with us. We will dissolve the propaganda of dangerous people with dangerous plans for the planet. We will discuss the latest technologies and challenges for humankind. We will discover the safest place for you to stand when the thinkings and doings of mankind come flying apart, and how you can be one of the people that helps put it back together. Join us.
Visualize an infinite hologram of unconditional love above your head. This is a holographic sphere with the flower of life pattern infinitely expanding inwardly to infinity.
The all-new Sacred Geometry Shop has arrived, featuring 8 of the world's most renowned sacred geometry and visionary artists. The mission of SGS is to embed sacred geometry art, frequencies, and equations into all conventional products in order to raise the vibration and help heal one's own individual life. Products include art, canvas prints, skateboards, Galaxy and iPhone cases, clothing, hats, jewelry, home decor, yoga mats, and a new sacred geometry skincare line. Enter the word STARSEED for an additional 25% discount. Log on today to sacredgeometryshop.com and feel the vibration.
The Freedom Link with Joe Joseph, Monday and Wednesday on Truth Frequency Radio.
They found a way to get it all back. They say, we'll legalize your drug deal, but you gotta give us lots of checks. Well, wake up, you're being screwed. Pharmaceutical drug guys can be so rude. They don't care if you live or you die, long as they get their piece of pie.
Okay, we were talking before the break
Don't care if you
about
live or
90
you
essential
die.
nutrients being required every single day to stay healthy. And I am wondering, just for the fun of it, Jeff, if you're out there and want to call in, I would appreciate it, because I want to make sure that the system is going to work when my guest comes on at the top of the hour, because I don't know what is going on today. Something is royally screwed up, and I have no control over that. Unfortunately, it's all the computer at the network, and so I'm just hoping somebody, if anybody's listening and has a phone that can call in, it's 866-37-TRUTH, 866-378-7884, just to help me out and do a test. I would appreciate it, because I just want to make sure that things are going to work when we get Dr. Glidden at the top of the hour. And I don't know what's going on here. Audio is good. Great. No, Chris worked with the tech support yesterday and got that all straightened out. I'm guessing maybe not actually. So who knows? Nice artwork. Okay. Well, we'll just continue on. And if anybody wants to give me a call to help me test things, I would appreciate it. In the meantime, let me bring up some news articles. Here we go. This is a fun one. Make it a little bigger. CDC discloses that flu vaccinations fail 50% of the time. I think they're being generous there. My bet is it's a whole lot more than that. We've all heard the horror stories about people suffering injury and even death from the flu shot. Now, to add insult to injury, the CDC has admitted that the flu shot does not prevent the flu in most cases. A statement taken directly from the CDC's website reads, while vaccine effectiveness can vary, recent studies show vaccine reduces the risk of flu illness by about 50 to 60% among the overall population during seasons when most circulating flu viruses are like, wait a minute here, when most circulating flu viruses are like the vaccine viruses. There's a, I can't remember, I think it's a CVS pharmacy that I drive past every couple of days, and on their little electronic sign out front, they have a thing in there that says, make sure you get your flu shot, because so the flu doesn't get you. Now, if I remember right, flu season is like October to maybe March, roughly, and here we are in May, and they're still advertising flu shots. Well, looks like we got a call here. I think this might be Precious, so I'm going to go ahead and take it, and we'll test the system. Is that you, Precious?
Hey, Sarge, you're on. We can hear you well.
Hey, good. Things are working. All righty. I appreciate that. At least that part's
I heard you struggling there.
Man, I'm telling you, normally this system works flawlessly. It's just it's a wonderful, wonderful system. But today,
yes, you sound great.
Yeah, well, that's good. There's just did you hear any music at the beginning of the show or anything like that?
Yes, it sounds good.
Well, yeah, none of that is coming through. I'm not hearing the station breaks. I'm not hearing the music or anything, so I don't know when to start, when to stop. It's weird. I'm just looking at this little timer that the system has, and it's like, oh my goodness. But anyway, you got anything going on that you want to talk about? Or do you want to wait for Dr. Glidden? Well, ask away. Go ahead.
Well, I can talk, especially when it's about Youngevity.
Well, we'll have to get your own show. Well, go ahead. Tell me how things are going for you right now. You've been on the product about maybe a month now?
Yes. And I have to say, first of all, sorry, I'm a very private person. And for something to bring me out of my little comfortable cocoon, I'm sociable, but I'm very private. Who would have thought 2 months ago I would be on the radio speaking about a product that I was completely unfamiliar with? And I want to say it's because I hurt for a whole year, pretty much in silence other than my close family knowing about it. My hips, my back, and it was a deep pain. Mm-hmm. And with me, I searched and researched because I'm skeptical but also optimistic. Whatever makes sense, I'll go for it.
Yep.
And when it came down to my son, who also was diagnosed with lupus in October, then that kind of put me in a faster gear and more receptive to dig a little deeper. And I kept hearing Dr. Wallach's name over that year time span. And also want to mention my fiance Don. He was about to have back surgery because he has bulging L4, L5 disc. And I don't know of any person that I know that has had success with back surgery. They were always, kind of messed up afterwards. And I didn't want that.
Yep.
Yeah.
They never were.
Yeah, so, yeah. And by the way, we were, I had researched and found the benefits of turmeric, which is what I found out is also in Youngevity. We were paying $40 just for one supplement. Yep. Okay? And literally within, now you're supposed to take it, but I just heard you say a few minutes ago that depending on how messed up you are is how quickly you feel the results. I must have been messed up.
I know I was.
Because after about a couple of days, I said, what is that pain?
Wow.
And after that, everything got better and better. And I feel like somebody has given me about 20 years back. I've been out there gardening, which I haven't done since the 80s. Okay. My mental clarity. I want to mention I am that time of life where you get the hot flashes. I was searching for that. That's gone. My blood pressure is lower. I haven't had to use my inversion table, one of the investments that I made trying to seek relief for my back. I haven't had to use that. I haven't had to use my electrodes. I haven't had to take any pain medication. So.
That's something. That's something. I'm telling you. Man, I'll tell you that.
And I can't stop. And it's all because of Youngevity.
I'm telling you, that's when people can't believe, they're so used to feeling so bad. They just figure, and this common thing is, that's just part of getting old. No, it's not.
Someone
Dr. is 75 years old, and he doesn't have an ache, he doesn't have a pain. He got knocked down an escalator a couple years back, and he just got up, dusted himself off, and got back on it. I mean, great big escalator, and he just rolled all the way to the bottom. People thought, oh man, he's dead. He just gets right up and gets back on it. 75 years old, and he's been doing this stuff for forever. That's the thing. It's not a sign of getting old. It's just, it's a sign of your nutrient tank running out. And I'll tell you, put the stuff back, and it's like, stand back, woo! I just love it. Oh man, it's great to hear. That just one more person, constantly, and because of that, I mean, going like gangbusters with your new business opportunity now, and
Oh my goodness!
I'm looking forward to coming to New Jersey and doing some meetings for you. That's going to be great.
And we're going to put them together for you because, as you see, I can't stop talking. And it's not. Now, I want to go ahead and dispel something because I'm kind of upfront person.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when, if you happen to mention this, a lot of times people will say, okay, what are they trying to sell me?
Yeah.
Me, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm comfortably retired. It's just that I think it would be selfish of me to know of something that can relieve your pain and then come to find out that a lot of diseases are connected to the lack of nutrition. I'm going to tell everybody, if you have, like you said, if you have a skeletal system, I'm going to tell you I can't help it. That's me. That's my, my team name is Life with Love.
Well, look at it this way. I mean, if you found out that the local shoe store was having a major sale, and you didn't tell your friends, and they found out about it, you think they'd be mad at you? Why didn't you tell me? This infects your life, your body. If I keep that secret to myself, I am doing a major disservice to everybody I know and everybody I don't know. I need to go to the rooftops and shout it loud and clear in every direction for all to hear. And then at that point, it's like casting seeds. Some fall found rocky ground, and some fell found in the thorns, and some fell on good earth. And I just cast the seeds and see what grows. It's up to them. I don't care if they want to get involved. Great. If they don't, that's great too. But I'm going to at least let them know, because it's such good news that you can't keep it to yourself.
No. And Dr. Watts, I say my little year of research. 1 year, I did a lot. I felt as though I did, but Dr. Watts has done over 40.
Mm-hmm.
And that impressed me. What also impressed me was the fact that Dr. Glidden was not associated with Youngevity, and he gave an unbiased scientific opinion. That impressed me. The business opportunity. I mean, the people that say, I need a couple of dollars, extra dollars, but I don't have the energy. I've worked several jobs. I had to do overtime, do whatever I had to do. I'm literally making money from my recliner. I speak to, I'm always babbling, so I'm always telling someone about Youngevity, and then that's secondary. It dawns on me, wow, I just made some money while I'm doing my walk. To me, there are no excuses. It's no excuse to hurt. There's no excuse to be broke. Oh my gosh, because the more you share, the more it's going to come back to you. And that's how I live my life, and that's why I'm so happy with Youngevity and the people that I've met. I've only met beautiful people. I've worked all my life, and I can't say that I can actually say that about any company that I've worked for, to say exclusively I've only met good, helping people, knowledgeable people who want to praise you forth and help you get there.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this business and this company in general. I mean, everybody are the thing we're saying is one team, one dream. And with some network businesses, if you do anything cross line, people go berserk. But with ours, if there's somebody doing meetings in your area and they're not in your upline, those people are still happy to help you. Now you have to be careful about how much you draw from them, because they do need to work their own downlines. But if you bring people to an open meeting, there's nothing wrong with that. Now you need to go back to your own upline for support and things like that. But excuse me, they're very helpful. And I've got folks here in the Columbus area that I work with that we're totally different lines of sponsorship, but we still work together on things. And that's just the beauty of it. And I just sent a message, and Chris Gio and I have been chatting back and forth here, and he's assuring me things are on. So I think he's working on the other issues. I don't know why I'm not hearing the music and stuff, but as long as things are working and I can watch my clock, I should be okay. I just wanted to make
sure. You're doing a great job. It's seamless.
Oh yeah, I just I was freaking out. I said, man, what's going on here? I wasn't hearing nothing. Yeah, normally about half an hour before my show starts, I turn the system on and I'm listening to the show ahead of time, and I couldn't get that. But Chris is good, and I know he's on top of it, so I'm not going to worry about it. He'll figure out what's going on, and it might be something on my end, but I'm doing the same thing I always do. So who knows? We'll just wait and see. But everything else is good. So.
Okay.
So, how about Don? Is he seeing some results? Is his vaccine?
I was hoping you would ask me about Don. First of all, Don is a clown. We laugh all the time. So, he doesn't like anything. He's a very finicky eater, and he's probably going to kill me for saying that on the radio. But this is reality.
Use his last name or his address.
I won't. And he didn't want to take. He didn't want to take the tangy tangerine. And he made all kind of faces. So this is what I did. I just put a little, and it's not bad for people that are listening. Like I said, he's very finicky. So I put some fresh fruit in it. I put some fresh fruit in it, and let me get away from my dog. That's the one that is. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not radio trained.
No, he's not. He does the same thing when Don is recording. He has to be on every recording.
Oh,
okay. Now, so Don, he drank it. He cooperated. And one moment. Okay. And when we ran out for a couple of days, he was literally at the front door hanging on to the hinges saying, "I'm melting, where's my happy pills?" So he wanted me to let everyone know that it is working wonderfully for him. He's, no lie, I told Jeff about it. He's shampooed carpets. Oh my gosh, mopping floors, building things, working on the cars. We did the yard work together. And it's just like we've been given about 10 or 20 years back.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't felt this good in a long time. Oh, and I forgot to mention I'm losing weight.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that something?
Yeah,
I just love that. The first 2 months I was on these products, I lost 24 pounds. And over, between April of 2012 and May of 2013, and I wasn't in any hurry. I lost 70 pounds, and I've kept it off. I mean, that, Jenny Craig and Nutrisystem, all you others, eat your heart out. I mean, every one of those programs, the people lose the weight while they're on the program, and then they gain it all back when they get off. Weight Watchers, same way, because none of them address the cause of weight gain, which we do.
And I can speak to that from an insider's point because I used to work for one years ago. Yes.
And that's what gives them. And the funny thing is they get return customers. People lose the weight, and then they'll get back on it again to lose some more when they gain it all back. It's like, what is, like
I can tell you the total cost of that. The total cost usually runs, depending on how much, if you want the minimum, say 20 pounds, it was going to cost them about $2,500.
Holy mackerel. Woo!
Yeah.
We're in the wrong business.
if you purchase their supplements, and, I'm including food and things like that, easily.
20 pounds? Holy
20 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't use them to lose 70. I broke for sure. I'd had to hack my house. Man, that's nuts. Oh my goodness.
And let me see if I can.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, I'm just looking at the chat room. I posted the thing about the.
Hello.
Hello, is this Don?
Yeah, it's Don. How you doing?
Hey, great, Don. By the way, thank you for that bumper music. That thing is awesome. I didn't get a chance to hear it today, but apparently everybody else did.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
So how are you liking the supplements?
Oh, man, let me tell you. I started out, I didn't want to take it. I said, I don't want to take it. I don't want to drink anything. I don't want to take anything. And Precious said, you're going to try it anyway. And I tried it, and I waited, a day or two, and I said, I don't know if it's working or not. And she said, well, you've done the rugs about 3 times today already, all right? You already cleaned the garage. I think it's working already. I think you just don't know it.
This is stuff you haven't done in a while, huh?
In a long time, And then I stopped and realized, hey, I worked kind of hard here. And it was extra energy. It was a lot of energy, a lot of extra energy. And it's not like it was a flash thing, like it came and went, It came and I maintained that energy level, which is, it's not an artificial feeling. It's like, you gradually feel like you start to come back to yourself again.
It's not like Red Bull or something, huh?
yeah. Something that, is artificial. It gives you a boost for a minute. No, this is like, all day. Feel good.
Awesome. That is awesome.
I feel
you were having back pains and all kinds of stuff, right? You had bulging.
I haven't had, it gradually eased up to the point where I didn't realize that it had stopped hurting.
So sneaks up on you.
Well, you never had medicine that sneak up on you, Most of the stuff works like right away. Oh, it doesn't work at all. This stuff is I would swear by it, and I'm reaching the point now where when it didn't come, I was standing at the door waiting for the mailman to come and bring stuff.
Need your fix.
I said, wait a minute, where's the mailman at? So
awesome.
I'm very, very happy. I'm very satisfied with it, with what we're doing so far.
Well, that's fantastic. I am really glad to hear it, and you're among a lot of people that have experienced the same kind of things. I mean, I was circling the drain. I didn't think I was going to live to see 2013 when I started this stuff in April of 2012. And man, I'll tell you, it's funny. Normally, back then, like last night, I was up until I went to bed at 4 a.m. because Dr. Wallach was on another show and I was answering phones for it. So I went to bed at 4 and I was back up at 7. So 3 hours of sleep. And a couple of years ago, if I'd have tried to do that, I wouldn't have been able to get out. I'd have been dragging so bad. This morning, I got up before the alarm went off. It's like, gotta get ready for the show. Glidden's coming. Man, I was all excited. And I hadn't even had my Beyond Tangy Tangerine or my Youngevity coffee yet, and I'm still ready to roll. But, yeah, it just gives you so much energy, and you don't have to get out of the bed and just stand there for a minute and take inventory and make sure all the parts are there and they're working right. You just get up and go. But
well, I'm a reluctant convert.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because so many people were like you were, and they didn't try it. Thank goodness, thank Lord that Precious was there to spur you on and get you going in the right direction. Because had you been on your own, you probably wouldn't have done that, and you'd still be hurting. And just anybody out there, let that be a lesson to you.
Well, when she first started making it for me, she would make it and chase me around the house with it,
Love to have been a fly on the wall with that place.
Or me running through the house with her chasing me. but it reached the point where I started going in the refrigerator and getting it myself. So
got tired of being
exactly.
I take it you eventually let her catch you and all that, So you fair.
I got caught, man.
Okay, so now Precious is done chasing you. Anybody else out there that needs some help, just call Precious and she'll come over and chase you around the house with the stuff now, right?
That's right, I don't mind.
Yeah. She'll wrestle you down and pour it down your throat, kicking and screaming. Oh man, that's awesome. I just so great having you guys aboard the team, and we're just going to have a wonderful time together, and I can see it now. I mean, get ready, because February is coming up, And we got our Top Achievers Club going to the Dominican Republic for 5 days and 4 nights on the company. And Jeff and I are already, we're already qualified for one free person. We're both working on our seconds, and you guys could join us. Just got to get out there and beat the bushes and talk to folks and spread the good word. And you can
so be a motor mouth like I already am.
There you go. That's right. You know, God gave you the gift, man. Don't hide it under a basket, man. Put it on a high spot where the light can shine.
Yeah. And what I feel, I've reached a lot of people, because a lot of people actually viewed my video on my testimony. Mm-hmm. It was close to last time I looked, it was, thank you. The last time I checked, it was close to 500 views. And what I believe, is a lot of times people think we get into this box of believing that, or saying that, oh, that's too good to be true, or that's somebody trying to sell something, or that's for them, or she already looked young, or he already looked young. It's not that. I think, if anybody is skeptical, I encourage you to do your research and even, go on YouTube. Try to find something negative. I couldn't find anything negative. The video I pulled up that said something negative. It said, warning, things you should know about Youngevity. And he said, you should know that you're going to get more energy. I said, that's it.
There you go.
And there's testimony and testimony and testimony, not only including mine. And, my sisters, one of my sisters, she just received her order earlier this week. And she's a corrections officer. And she already, just based on how she's feeling, she already has 2 of her coworkers that are interested. And one thing I know about being a corrections officer, something on you hurts. So if any of my ex-coworkers, are actually listening, because I invited you here today, I know what you're going through. The concrete, the hard floors, sitting in the chairs hours and hours and hours. Everybody is stressed out. Everybody has high blood pressure. How many of us? I'm so tired of seeing.
A lot of time.
Okay.
I'm going to put you on hold.
All right.
And bring you back up in a little.
Truth Frequency Radio is your number one source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We are proud to bring you cutting-edge programs like Real Politics with Professor James Tracy, Radio Ranch with Robert Sale, Agent for Truth with Joe Bannister, Enemy Within Radio with Tom Barr, Strange World with Mark Sargent, The Covert Report with Susan Lindauer, Revolutionary Radio with Rob Skidder, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any computer, mobile device, or from any telephone by dialing 832-225-5308, or call into your favorite show toll-free at 866-37-TRUTH. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media 24 hours a day. Truth Frequency Radio. We are TFR, your protection from deception.
He was the deputy director of MI6, Britain's most senior diplomat. He was knighted by the Queen and in charge of thousands of highly trained spies. But he was also a member of the Paedophile Information Exchange. He had 45 diaries full of sex fantasies with children. His friend was the private secretary of Margaret Thatcher. He strangled a child and hit another with his car. He raped young boys and organized orgies with children for other politicians.
The Enigma Channel, intelligence television for planet Earth. EnigmaTV.com.
You're a busy podcaster, not a web designer, but without a professional website to send your guests and listeners to, your podcast will not get the attention it deserves. Having a great website is crucial to the success of your podcast. but it can also be a major headache, not to mention a drain on your wallet. You need a service that's easy to use, gives you a great website, and hosts your podcast files all in one place. You need BlastPod from Podcast Blastoff. Far from just another WordPress platform, BlastPod was built from the ground up by podcasters for podcasters. BlastPod is your all-in-one podcasting solution that gives you the ability to podcast like the pros. Sign up now and get access to your BlastPod website today. Putting the power of podcasting into the hands of the people. PodcastBlastoff.com.
You must unite.
We are TFR, Truth Frequency Radio.
Your DIY Health Radio. Your DIY Health Radio. Your DIY Health Radio. I am Ramm, if you can call me Health Radio.
And we're back with the second hour of today's version of Your DIY Health Radio. And I finally got a chance to hear my bumper music live. And Precious and Don, you did a great job on that. Thank you so much. And we are blessed to have the Fire Your MD Now guy live with us today, Dr. Peter Glidden. And Dr. Glidden has his own website, Glidden.healthcare. Check that out, Glidden.healthcare. And by all means, look at his advocate system. That is, other than Youngevity supplements, it's the very best money you could spend on health care. You will actually learn about true health care, not the crap that you get at hospitals and doctors' offices. Dr. Glidden has all kinds of webinars and question and answer sessions that he does that you have access to. It is a wealth of information. And for only $20 a month, it is worth it for every penny and then some. So I encourage you to check that out, Glidden.healthcare. And without any further ado, Dr. Glidden, welcome this morning. How you doing, Dr. G?
Good morning, Sarge. I'm still above ground, so it's a good day.
Amen, brother. I know how you feel. What's the latest? It was good to see you out in Anaheim a few weeks ago. That was a lot of fun. And man, there's tons of people, and your talk was the highlight of my trip, I know, and probably for a whole lot of others too.
Well, that's very kind of you. I think one of the most interesting things about that event for me was, it was a regional Youngevity summit. It wasn't a big annual convention. And it was packed. I think there were 1,500 or 1,600 people there for the regional summit. Yeah, it was standing room only in my lecture. I mean, people were sitting on the floor, sitting up against the wall because the room just wasn't big enough. And I think that speaks volumes to two things. Number one, the effectiveness of Youngevity, both to help people have healthier lives and also wealthier lives, and number two, the frustration that people are feeling with the conventional medical method. And slowly but surely the tide is shifting here, and people just are pulling themselves up and looking around and saying, really? I mean, for goodness sakes, these guys, people that are in charge of medicine, they don't even know how to cure heartburn. I mean, how good are they going to be at curing cancer? And then when people like Prince die in their late 50s, for goodness sakes, you have to ask yourself the question, well, what's going on here? And I'll tell you what's going on here. MD-directed conventional medical treatments for chronic diseases don't work. They don't work. They're good for trauma. They're good for surgery. When surgery is indicated, they're good for a handful of infectious diseases, but that's it. And our message is simple. If you bring your body to the office of an MD and you're suffering with a chronic illness, that medical professional has nothing for you except pharmaceutical agents which are not going to cure the condition but which are going to suppress your symptoms. Ultimately, you will get worse, something else will break, and then you go from the frying pan to the fire. So our advice across the board, fire your medical doctor now. Only use their services if you have a nasty infection that you couldn't get on the other side of, if you're dealing with a trauma, heaven forbid, a broken arm, a bullet in your arm, a laceration, something. That's what those guys are good for. But for everything else, you need to avail yourself of a medical system which actually attempts to cure, actually attempts to get you into the game of healing. And, ironically, interestingly enough, this is not that difficult of a thing to do. You don't even need, initially to secure the services of a holistic physician for in a private consultation. They just need a little bit of education. And in this regard, a little bit of education goes a long, long way. And, we're seeing this happen. This movement is growing, number one, because it works. Number two, because it works. And number three, because people are unbelievably frustrated with the conventional medical method.
No doubt. I'll tell you, there's more and more indication out there. I bump into people every day that are just, sick and tired of being sick and tired. They're out there looking for an answer, and we've got it. And that's why, I was talking earlier with Precious, hopefully you get a chance to talk to her before the show's over. She has been on board with us for about a month and has unbelievable results already, and so is her fiance, and her son, who was recently diagnosed with lupus, is getting on board as well. But she is just going to town telling everybody that'll listen, and that's what we got to do. We have to let people know that there is a solution out there, one that actually works, and one where we can actually, as you say, attempt to cure. And by the way, I love the new videos, the Attempt to Cure video and the Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Oh my goodness. Those things are great. People, if you haven't checked out Dr. Glidden's website, again, it's glidden.healthcare, Glidden, like the paint, no relation. And I just put it in the chat room for you guys, and anybody else will have it on the Facebook page and all that too. He's got a great deal for $2. You can get access to the whole system for 2 days, and boy, I'll tell you that $2 you'll be sold when you get done. If you look at some of the stuff that's on there, you're getting real information about how you can restore your health naturally using science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. And I just can't stress it enough. I wanted to check with you real quick. I had somebody who heard the show last week for the first time. Dr. Wallach was on with me, and unfortunately he heard the replay, and he wanted me to ask you a question. He and his wife both have had their thyroids removed, and they both exercise and eat healthy meals, but they do not deprive themselves occasionally of foods they like. They eat those foods sparingly. When I go to the doctor, he said, you need to lose weight. My response is always, I don't have a thyroid. How do I boost my metabolism? He always goes back to the thyroid. Can you do a program that will help or shine some light on what people can do to shed weight without starvation? I'm sure the thyroid has more function than just metabolism. And can you shine some light on Synthroid? After the removal, my joints started giving me problems. Now I'm taking calcium and D3 for joint pain. My wife is now starting to have some symptoms too. So if you could, can you kind of go over that a little bit? Because I know there's more people out there than just Dion here who wrote me this note. And what do you have to say about that?
Well, we need the proper perspective to understand this and any other health concern, right? So, number one, something was wrong with these people's thyroids in the beginning, and the thyroid surgery did nothing to adjust or heal the metabolic imbalance that made their thyroid get funky in the first place. So having a surgical procedure for anything like this is tantamount to, sweeping stuff under the rug or, painting over the mold in the basement. Well, you don't see it anymore. You don't smell it anymore. But it's still there, and it's only a matter of time until the metabolic process that made the thyroid go south is going to show up somewhere else in the body. So number one, we have to attempt to address the reason that this person's thyroid went bad in the first place, because unless we do that, it doesn't have time until those chickens come home to roost, and then they're gonna have other problems. So the first thing to do is to educate yourself about what to do to have healthy thyroids. Now, even though they don't have the thyroid anymore, everything in the body is connected. And so, if the thyroid is funky, it's not so much that you have a thyroid, it's because the game is put in the body and there's stuff going wrong in the body that caused the thyroid to go out of whack, and that needs to attempt to be adjusted. So, we do a foundation medical nutrition program for everybody. Our foundation message is that the human body needs 90 essential nutrients in order to be healthy. So everybody gets the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for their body weight to begin with. And then on top of that, we would give extracurricular thyroid support. There's a number of ways to do that. Oftentimes the thyroid will be a problem because there's not enough iodine or not enough selenium in the body. Oftentimes the thyroid will be a problem because there's not enough calcium in the body. Oftentimes the thyroid will be a problem because the neck is out. So one of the things that these people need to do is they need to see a chiropractor. They need to get an x-ray of their neck to check for the curve in the neck to see if the curve in the neck is correct. If the curve in the neck is not correct, then the nerve signals coming out of the neck going to the thyroid area are going to be compromised. And those are still compromised after the surgery if they were compromised in the first place. So they need to get assessed by a chiropractor to see what the curve of the neck is like. They need the 90 essential nutrients and extra selenium. They also need, like everybody else, to eliminate 12 foods, because there are 12 foods which, if they are consistently consumed, will cause low-grade amounts of inflammation in the body, and that stuff builds up like the straws that broke the camel's back, and then people's bodies break at their weakest point. Some people have weak thyroid. They're just born with it. Some people have weak left elbow. Some people have weak gallbladders, right? The nutritional deficiencies will take advantage of and show up in parts of the body that are the weakest. And everybody has a part of their body that's the weakest. You have inherited that from your parents. So we need comprehensive medical nutrition, and we need to stop eating food that's hurting us, and then we need to do physical things to, in this case, see whether or not, the nerves that are going to where the thyroid used to be are optimized, and that's an important thing to do. Now, as far as synthroid goes, if somebody has had their thyroid gland completely removed, then they're going to need to be on prescription medications for the rest of their life, because there's no getting around that. The thyroid produces thyroid hormone, and if the medical doctors in their kind of old-fashioned, outdated, juvenile therapeutic interventions have removed the thyroid, then there's no more thyroid hormone in the body, and that's a big bad voodoo daddy. So compensate for that with pharmaceuticals, and they're going to need to be on some type of thyroid hormone for the rest of their life. Now, in the wonderful world of thyroid supplementation, there are two options. Option number one is the inferior option, but guess what? It's the option that the MDs roll out 40 hours a week. It's Synthroid, which is thyroid hormone 4, T4. The thyroid produces a number of different hormones, but the two major players are thyroid hormone 3, T3, and thyroid hormone 4, T4. T3 is the body's preferred form. It's 4 times as effective as T4 is, and the body will convert T4 into T3 in order to get the job done. Well, what do the MDs do? You would think that in a perfect world you would give somebody who didn't have a thyroid both hormones, T3 and T4. The medical doctors don't do that. Why don't they do that? Because the pharmaceutical industry a long time ago figured out that, it was cheaper and easier to make thyroid hormone 4 than it was thyroid hormone 3, so that's what they rolled out. And because that's been in place for about 50 years now, nobody questions it. And this is one of the biggest problems with conventional medicine, that the medical doctors don't question what they've been taught in school. They continue to roll out therapeutics which are old-fashioned, outdated, and, could be much, much better. So, if anyone is taking Synthroid, which is thyroid hormone 4, you need to supplement selenium, because the body uses selenium to convert T4 into T3. How about that? So, most people who are taking Synthroid, when they start taking supplemental selenium, have much better experience of their overall energy, because the Synthroid starts working better, because it just does. Now, a better option is a different type of thyroid hormone called Armour. I'm not sure if Armour Thyroid is available in the United States anymore, but Armour Thyroid contains both T3 and T4. There are a couple of companies picked up Black, and there's a product called Nature, Turthroid. It's a prescriptive agent. You can only get it from a physician, a chiropractor, or a naturopathic physician. Again, we recommend people fire their medical doctors for things like this. Don't go to the medical doctor if you have a thyroid condition. They have nothing for you but old-fashioned, outdated, dangerous therapeutics. Secure the services of a chiropractor or a licensed naturopathic physician near you and get on board with Naturethroid. My recommendation for anybody taking Synthroid, switch to Naturethroid for 90 days and experience a difference. So the vast majority of people who make that switch do feel a remarkable difference, because now their body has both T3 and T4, and often that's a game changer. So that's kind of the long and the short of it. You want to be taking the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for your body weight. So the recommendation would be Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. One of those, 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals, and 1 bottle of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. That's 1 Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid, 1 bottle of plant minerals, 1 bottle of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Eliminate the 12 bad foods. Go to the chiropractor and switch out the Synthroid to Naturethroid and see if the quality of your life improves.
Sounds good. Now, basically, he's trying to lose weight, so we don't really necessarily have to boost metabolism, is what he's asking. Just getting him on the nutrition will get the weight loss going in the right direction, right?
So when we're attempting to lose weight, regardless of the pre-existing health condition, the first thing that we have to do is nutrify the body completely, because when the body is nutrified completely, cravings disappear. And, the major contributor to weight gain, if it's not an anti-inflammatory like prednisone, is eat too many calories. I mean, that's it. Eat too many calories, right? There was nobody in Auschwitz that was overweight, right? Didn't matter if they had a thyroid or not, or what their pre-existing health conditions were. If you don't eat, you lose weight. So the first thing to consider is we're eating too many calories. Why does the body eat too many calories? Well, the medical doctors would have you believe it's because you have a stomach, so their solution is to cut your stomach out, or to wrap a band around your stomach and constrict it. Or that you're depressed, or that you're lazy, or that you're just lazy, or that you're just depressed. That's their thought on that. And it's nonsense. Again, this is why the medical doctor needs to be fired, because this is how they think. And if people actually knew how they thought, they would run away from these people as quickly as they could. So the first thing we need to do is nutrify the body 100% every day. And when we do that, cravings for extracurricular calories disappear, and you automatically just start eating less food. So for the first 90 days, I wouldn't really worry about doing anything aggressive to lose weight. I would simply eliminate the 12 bad foods, eliminate the 12 bad foods, eliminate the 12 bad foods every day, no cheating.
Yep.
And nutrify your body with the stuff that I just talked about and see what happens to your weight. Often when people do that, they're going to lose 10, 20, 30 pounds spontaneously. And then if, after they lose that weight spontaneously, if there's still an extra 20 pounds that they want to get rid of, then there are other strategies that we can do. I would think that the thyroid has very little to do with this, quite frankly, because remember, they're supplementing their body with the thyroid hormone. So I think this is probably a nutritive thing rather than a thyroid thing. At least it's the first thing to attempt for 90 days.
Yeah, and I know when I started these products, in the first all I did was cut out the bad foods and take the products. In the first 2 months, I lost 24 pounds. And then as time went on, I dropped a complete 70. So, yeah, it can be done. And it's easy. It's so much easier when you're doing it the right way. If you want, we're getting some people calling in. You want to take some calls?
Yeah, I'm all yours, Sergeant.
All righty. Let's go to Cincinnati, Ohio, and James. If I can get the button to go. There we go. James, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. What's your question for Dr. Glidden?
Parkinson's. And I've had it for 15 years. And
James, you're going to need to speak up if you can. We can hardly hear you.
oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's much better. Yeah, that's a lot better.
I'm taking the drugs.
Yeah, James, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to help you today. You have to collect your thoughts here. You're taking way too much time to ask this question, and your volume is very low. So collect your thoughts. Then maybe you want to call us back in a little while.
I'm got my thoughts.
Well, spit it out, brother.
You'll have to speed it up.
Okay, well, I've had Parkinson's for 15 years, and it's affecting me, as you can tell. My ability to speak, to exercise, I want to get the input of Dr. Glidden as to what nutrients, supplements I should be on.
That's an excellent question, James. An excellent question, and let me just preface my answer by saying two things again by way of perspective, right? We live in the 21st century in the United States, arguably the wealthiest nation in the world, the most progressive nation in the world, and in the United States we haven't had a free medical market since the early 1900s. The MDs have run the show since the early 1900s, right? The only medicine practiced in your hospital is MD medicine. The only medicine your insurance pays for is MD medicine. The only type of physicians to get research money are MDs. Everybody else is kicked off of the bus of medicine and painted as quacks with substandard training by the conventional medical doctors. And while the conventional medical doctors have been in complete, utter, and total control over the research and delivery of medicine, Parkinson's disease is uncured. Multiple sclerosis, uncured. Lou Gehrig's disease, uncured. Cancer, uncured. For goodness sakes, your medical doctor doesn't even know how to cure heartburn. They don't know how to cure heartburn. How successful do you think they're going to be at being able to cure Parkinson's disease? Not very much. And this is the problem. People should be outraged here. people should be outraged, but we have been socialized to believe that the medical doctors, doesn't stink, and that they own the secret decoder ring to everything, and that disease is a complicated process, and if the MD can't figure it out, well, then nobody can. And that's nonsense. So I would gainsay, James, that the reason that you've been suffering with Parkinson's for 15 years is because the medical doctors are incompetent at what they do. And yet the government now requires us to buy medical insurance to buy into their ineffective therapeutics every month. That's a good deal for them. I mean, that's like, requiring everybody in your state, everybody in the United States, to buy clothes from one particular clothes maker, and 2 weeks after you put the shirt on, it rips and tears. Well, that's good for that clothes manufacturer, but it's not so good for you and me. That's the way that it is here with the delivery of medicine. So I'm going to tell you what we think about this, and I'll tell you at length, but I don't want to overlook the gorilla in the middle of the room. You've been suffering with Parkinson's for 15 years. The United States of America in the 21st century. You got to be kidding me. Why is this? Because the medical doctors are the wrong dog for this hunt. They are the wrong dog for this hunt. We wouldn't go to a chiropractor if we needed open heart surgery, would we? No. We get that. And I don't know when it's going to happen that we're all culturally going to wake up and snap out of it. That the reason that people are sick and suffering all around the world is because the medical doctors have monopolized the marketplace. They do not let anybody else into the game, and they are advocates of an old-fashioned, outdated, ineffective medical philosophy, period. You are sick and suffering because your medical doctor is a fool, quite frankly. Now look, right, you got a broken leg, you got a bullet in your arm, that's who you want to go to. But for goodness sakes, it's nonsense. So, let me tell you what we believe about Parkinson's disease and our experience with it. Okay?
Hey, Doc, can you hold on right there, because we're just about to get to the break, and we'll bring him back up on the other side and get the... Here we are. I thought the music was going to start. Anyway, we'll be back in 3 minutes, and we'll get back with the protocol for James as soon as we can.
Truth Frequency Radio is your number one source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We are proud to bring you cutting-edge programs like The Kev Baker Show, The Freedom Link with Joe Joseph, Truth Frequency with Chris and Cherie Geo, The Christopher Everard Show, X Squared with Brooks Agnew, Down the Rabbit Hole with Popeye, Freaky Friday with The Wool Crew, Waking Up the Masses with Robert Bruce, Phoenix Rising Radio, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any computer, mobile device, or from any telephone by dialing 832-225-5308, or call into your favorite show toll-free at 866-37-TRUTH. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media. 24 hours a day. Truth Frequency Radio. We are EFR. Your protection from deception.
Have you ever noticed that even though America spends twice as much as the rest of the world on doctors and medicine, we're still some of the sickest people on the planet? If you think the medical community has failed us and that there must be a better way, then you want to tune in for the Your DIY Health radio program here on Truth Frequency Radio. The host, Sergeant Jim Ramm, retired, was facing a laundry list of chronic health conditions that his physician was telling him were incurable. He became a student of true medical nutrition and learned how he could reverse every one of his ailments with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. In just a few months, he was able to reverse high blood pressure, gastric reflux, sleep apnea, arthritis, degenerative disc disease, heart arrhythmia, and AFib, and many more. He wants to help you do the same. Tune in to Your DIY Health on Truth Frequency Radio every Thursday from 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. That's 6 to 8 a.m. Pacific.
We are submersed in a construct that was designed to break us and keep us frozen, but it hasn't. It's failed. We still go on because we were designed from an eternal template of infinite creativity and not a synthetic house of cards built on pride and false power. Breaking free from the programs and paradigms that hold us down takes courage, endurance, tenacity, and trust. The reason it is so hard is because to be a free and sovereign being, we have to smash every lie, even if it hurts. It is good to be reminded of how resilient, unbreakable, magnificent, and powerful we truly are. And if anything provides a foundation for that, it is the book, Our Universal Journey. Go to ouruniversaljourney.com.au.
Down the Rabbit Hole with Popeye, Tuesday and Thursday on Truth Frequency Radio.
Cancer research, the biggest revenue. They make all those billions lying to me and you. The same folks that brought you this toxic sewer are now gonna bring us all a cure. Somehow I just don't think so. Now the IRS gets billions from people like you and me. Then Medicare pumps it back to the drug lords.
Well, thanks for being with us here on today's edition of Your DIY Health Radio. We're here with Dr. Peter Glidden, and tell you right now, make sure you go to glidden.healthcare. That's GLIDDEN.healthcare. Check out his site, get involved, try out the advocate system, and you'll be hooked. And we were, before the break, Dr. G was just getting ready to give James in Cincinnati the protocol for Parkinson's. So, Dr. G, carry on from where you were. Go ahead, take it away.
Okay, good. So here's the deal. I believe that one of my strengths is that I attempt to be as honest as I possibly can be. It's relatively easy to help somebody recover from high blood pressure, from type 2 diabetes, from heartburn, from arthritis, from fibromyalgia, from depression, from chronic fatigue. These things are relatively easy to get on the other side of. Neurological illnesses like Lou Gehrig's disease, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, these are tricky and they're difficult. I've seen people with Parkinson's get 10% approval. I've seen people with multiple sclerosis get 100% approval. I've also seen people with MS get hardly any improvement whatsoever. So when it comes to neurological conditions, the jury is out as to, the effectiveness of any type of program, whether it's medical nutrition, homeopathic, or whatever. So, here's what I can tell you, James. The human body needs 90 essential nutrients. I don't know how far gone your body is. At some point in time, the body does reach a point of no return where, you just can't fix that. I'm not aware of any therapy that can grow back a finger once you cut it off in a bandsaw, right? Heaven forbid. So there is a point of no return, but I don't know where that point is. Your medical doctor certainly doesn't know where that point is. And our basic position is you stop eating food that's gumming up the works. 12 foods that you need to stop eating. You can get that list for free on my website, Glidden.healthcare. You nutrify the body with everything that it needs every day appropriate for your body weight, and then once you've done that, you give a little extra support for whatever the chronic complaint is in your condition. It would be neurological support. So we are of the opinion that Parkinson's disease is caused by oxidative damage to the nerves in the body in different parts of the central nervous system. We believe that oxidative damage to the central nervous system is the operative metabolic reason that people get MS, Lou Gehrig's, and Parkinson's disease that's happening in different parts of the central nervous system. So, oxidative damage is caused by free radicals. Free radicals enter into the body mostly through food. So the recommendation here is to eliminate the 12 bad foods with an emphasis on oil in a bottle and fried food. You have to completely stop eating any oils. So no more salad dressing, no more olive oil, certainly no more fried food. You have to get into the habit of cooking with lard or butter, and lard is rendered animal fat. It's not Crisco, which is vegetable shortening. It's duck fat, beef fat, goose fat, and pig fat. Cook with lard. Cook with butter. If you need to cook stuff up in a fry pan, do not use any oil in a bottle. That includes olive oil. That includes coconut oil. Eliminate all oils as soon as is humanly possible. Right now there's 10 other foods that you need to avoid, but when it comes to oxidative stress, oxidative damage, presumptive oxidative stress and damage, oil in a bottle and fried foods are the biggest culprits there. So, number one, eliminate the 12 bad foods. Number two, consume a diet that's high in cholesterol, because your central nervous system is made from cholesterol, right? If you had a broken bone, it would be prudent to give your body extra calcium, extra phosphorus, extra selenium and zinc, because these are the things that the bones are made from. Well, if you're suffering with a neurological deficit, our advice is to eat a diet high in cholesterol, and you need not be concerned because there is no relationship between high cholesterol and heart disease. It doesn't exist. And I've spoken about this extensively on my website. I have a 45-minute webinar that I put together that's Bust the Myth of Cholesterol. I've also done a 45-minute webinar, I think it might even be an hour-long webinar on my website about Parkinson's disease. So go to glidden.healthcare, throw down $2 for 2 days and watch the video that I did on Parkinson's disease. It will help you understand what I'm talking about more clearly. Right? So once we're eating a diet high in cholesterol, and the easiest way to do that is, eat 4, 5, 6 chicken eggs a day, eat butter, full-fat milk, full-fat yogurt, cheese. Don't be afraid of this stuff. Have meat that's rare or medium rare. Go crazy for cholesterol. And then you have to provide your body with the 90 essential nutrients and antioxidants, because antioxidants neutralize the damage that free radicals cause. So in order to do that, and the easiest way to do that is to do one healthy brain and heart pack, one bottle of plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month. It's one healthy brain and heart pack, one bottle of plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And once you hit that target, I would add to that one bottle of Beyond Tangy Tangerine tablets. One bottle of Beyond Tangy Tangerine tablets a month. So that's one healthy brain and heart pack, one bottle of plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and on top of that, one bottle of Beyond Tangy Tangerine tablets. Eat a diet high in cholesterol, eliminate the 12 bad foods, and see what happens. Now, the last thing I want to tell you, James, is that, this is not a Parkinson's treatment. When we talk to people about whatever illness we're talking about, really, this is a treatment for James. So when you are engaging this therapeutic, you want to look to see, of course, in addition, what happens to your central nervous system and the Parkinsonian symptoms. What happens to your mood, to your energy, to your appetite, to your sleep, to your weight, to the quality of your life, right? Because everything is connected here. So, I don't know. I can't make any promises here, James. I have no idea whether this therapeutic is going to cut the mustard or not. But I know that you need to stop eating these 12 foods. I know that your body needs these nutrients. I know that it would be prudent for you to eat a diet high in cholesterol. So all we can do is do that and keep our fingers crossed and see what happens. And, for something like this, the recommendation would be go full steam ahead on this for 3 months before you judge it up or down. 90 days with the discipline to see whether or not it can make a difference in you. And again, if you want to review this information at your own pace, if you go to my website, glidden.healthcare, sign up for my advocate program. It's $20 a month or $2 for 2 days. You'll have access to hundreds of informational videos that I've put together, hundreds of hours of informational videos, one of which was Parkinson's disease. Check it out. Sarge, who's next?
Okay, thanks, James. We're going to go to Lockbourne, Ohio. And Nick. Nick, you there?
Hello, Nick. Good morning. Dr. Glidden, and Sarge is familiar with this. I know a lady with lupus, and she wouldn't do what Sarge had recommended before, but now she's on dialysis. Lupus with dialysis. Is there any hope? Is there a solution there?
No, she didn't do what we told her to do, so, right, leave the dead to bury the dead. I mean, for goodness sake.
Well, that's what I thought I'd see if it was a last resort, but
well, I mean, this is the problem, right? I mean,
yep, right.
When my first year that I was doing this with Youngevity, we were talking to a guy. He had high blood pressure and blood sugar issues, and he wasn't getting any traction. And I happened to be in his neighborhood. He lives relatively close to where I lived. I went over to his house one day to help him out. All of the supplements were in the shelf. He'd opened one of the bottles. So he wasn't taking this stuff, right? I mean, you have to take the stuff in order for it to work, for goodness sakes. And if people are going to be so stubborn that they're not even going to try it, then, we just need to move on and find somebody who is going to listen to us. And this, I think, is an interesting thing to talk about because it speaks to the fact that people have been socialized so deeply to believe that their medical doctor knows what's best for them that when they are offered a solution other than what the MDs offer, they refuse it. And they would rather suffer and get worse and then go on dialysis and then go on chemotherapy and then die than do something other than their medical doctors told them. I think we all collectively have Stockholm Syndrome, which is the curious phenomenon that people who have been kidnapped develop feelings of affections for their kidnappers, right? Medical doctors have failed us. The medical doctors have bankrupted us. The medical doctors are killing us, literally. Their therapeutics are the leading cause of death in the United States, and what do? We genuflect at their altar every month when we write a medical insurance premium check, and when they tell us to do something, even though it doesn't work, we bend over and take it, and it is a crying shame.
All righty. All right, Nick, thanks. We're going to go to Brownsville, Texas. And caller, are you there, Brownsville? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, there you are.
Yes, my name is... Yeah, I've been taking the Youngevity products for about 6 months. I go to dialysis. I got a little bit of sugar. My high blood pressure controlled with sweeties and stuff. But I haven't seen any change as far as my diabetes at all. I mean, my dialysis.
Okay, so how old are you?
59.
And how long have you been on dialysis?
Going on 5 years.
Okay. And how long have you been doing the medical nutrition program?
6 months.
Okay. And since you've been doing the medical nutrition program, what has improved?
I've maintained my eyesight. I haven't lost my eyesight at all. I should have lost it about a year ago. But, I've been trying different minerals until finally got a hold of the Youngevity products. And I haven't noticed any really loss of eyesight or anything. I feel good. But lately, I've been noticing... improved? Yes. My blood sugars are I pretty much control them with sweeties now.
Okay.
I don't take,
So your blood sugar is good. How about your mood, your energy, your sleep?
My sleep right now is pretty bad.
Okay. So besides the blood sugar being controlled, right, you no longer have type 2 diabetes. Has anything else gotten remarkably better in the last 6 months?
Let's would say my attitude, but that's about it. Other than that,
okay.
You know, my dad, and then the out. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So when they do dialysis, they take your blood before every treatment and analyze it. Is that how they do it?
Yes.
And have they changed the dialysis, the length of time that you're on dialysis, or have they changed up the dialysis treatment at all?
No. When I first started, I was at 4 hours. Right now, I'm at 3.
Okay, so you've been able to reduce by 1 hour in 6 months. That's kind of significant. So one of the things that we need to reinforce with people is the notion that attempting to cure a condition, attempting to heal the body is a completely different game than simply managing symptoms with drugs, right? It is a completely different game. It's like the difference between painting over the mold in the basement and digging out the foundation and fixing the leak that's coming in through, it takes a lot of time here. And so the operative thing to understand is healing is a process, it's not an event. And when we are engaged in a healing process, what we expect to see is slow and steady improvement over time, which you are getting. So the blood sugars are better, attitude's a little bit better, you're on 3 hours of dialysis instead of 4. All of those speak to improvement. My advice to you would be to make sure you have eliminated the 12 bad foods completely. Make sure you have eliminated the 12 bad foods completely. You cannot cheat even a little bit there. And what's your body weight?
I weigh 45 kilos.
45 kilos. So what's that? That's about 90. It's about 110?
No. 45 kilos. It's 140. But 140 to 43.
All right. So here's what I would do if I were you every month with Youngevity supplements. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I would take one Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. The Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. I would do one of those.
Hey, 145 kilos is 319 pounds, just so you'll know.
Oh, he's 145? I thought he was 45 kilos.
Oh, was it 45 kilos?
45 kilos.
Okay, that's 99 pounds. That's a whole lot better.
Yeah, 45 times 2.2. Yeah, it's 99 pounds.
On my computer.
All right, good. So here's what I would do, right? One Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid, 3 bottles of plant minerals, 3 bottles of plant minerals, 3 bottles of plant minerals a month, okay? 1 bottle of Beyond Tangy Tangerine tablets, 1 bottle of Beyond Tangy Tangerine tablets, 3 bottles of selenium, 3 bottles of selenium, and 2 bottles of Sweeties a month.
I want that niacin plus.
You can do the niacin plus in addition to that if you want, and you can also do in addition if you want the Good Herbs Heart Support. 2 bottles of the Good Herbs Heart Support. Now that wouldn't be a bad idea. 2 bottles of the Good Herbs Heart Support. That's a half a teaspoon 3 times a day. 1 bottle of niacin a month. 3 bottles of selenium a month. 3 bottles of the plant-derived minerals a month. 1 bottle of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine tablets a month, and 1 Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. Then the Sweeties, right? So what we need to do here is more circulatory support, more antioxidants. The Beyond Tangy Tangerine tablets provide you with the antioxidants. The Good Herbs Heart Support, interestingly enough, provides you with the circulation support. The niacin is like the icing on the cake there. But I would argue, man, that the biggest, most important thing for you here moving forward is time. I mean, you're already improving. You've been on dialysis for 5 years, for goodness sakes. In 6 months, you've been able to reduce the dialysis treatments by 1 hour. So we would gainsay that in 6 more months you'll be down to 2 hours. In a year you'll be down to 1 hour, and in a year and a half you might be able to get off completely. And that's how it's going to go. This is a slow and steady process. The body heals itself, in its own pace. But what we pay attention to here is whether or not there is improvement. In your case, there is improvement, so I would just maintain the course.
Okay, I got another question. On the selenium. Since we do dialysis, they give us a blood thinner when they do the dialysis. And if I take the selenium, that tends to make the blood thinner, right?
Selenium does not make the blood thinner. What will make the blood thinner is the EFA plus.
Oh, okay.
You're going to have to take a boatload of that to make the blood too thin. What the dialysis does is it takes out the bad stuff, but it also takes out a lot of the good stuff. And so with people that are on dialysis, we're doing 2 things. We are attempting to support the body in healing the kidneys in the first place, number 1. And number 2, we have to offset the damage that the dialysis did, because the dialysis does good stuff, it also does bad stuff, right? So that's why you need 3 bottles of plant minerals a month, because the dialysis will suck the minerals out of your body like nobody's business. You need to put them back. So after your dialysis treatment, when you get home, I would throw down 2 ounces of the plant-derived minerals immediately. I'd just chug them down like a shot of tequila. 2 ounces of the plant minerals immediately when you get home after dialysis. I think if you start to do that and then start using 3 ounces of the plant minerals a day, I think that you'll experience a slow and steady improvement across the board. But nonetheless, man, you must not even be downwind of fried food, and you must eliminate all oil in a bottle completely, because in this case, brother, your life does depend on it.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thanks for the call. Keep up. Let us know what happens, all right? Keep us informed.
Okay, thanks, Julio. All right, we got about 5 minutes left, and we're going to go to probably our last caller. This will be Carl in Texas. Go ahead, Carl.
Hey, this is Brenda, but Carl's here too.
Okay. Go ahead, Brenda.
Yeah, so, anyway, good to talk to you guys. Always glad to hear Dr. Glidden again, since we don't get to hear him on the radio. We missed that.
Hey, Brenda, what's your horse's name?
Oh, well, and remember when we talked once, I said I don't have a horse.
I said everybody in Texas has a horse.
Yeah, that's right, she did. But I said one of the few that didn't have a horse. But anyway.
So how can we help? Good to hear from you again. What's up?
Yes, well, of course, I have celiac was my main issue with my stomach and all, and taking the cherry berries that you'd recommended and all the other 2.0 and everything has helped. I mean, I've gotten better, and just as of recently, I've added the Fucoid Z also. And I've been just taking one in the morning and one at night. Is that what you recommend, or how should I take that?
Well, how much better are the colitis symptoms? Are they 10% better, 50% better, 80% better? What do you think?
Yeah, I would say they're a good, 70% better.
Okay, well, that's significant. All right, so what I would do is I would switch from the Oxybody Cherry Berry to the Maquis Plus. And I would do 2 MAQUI Plus, yep. I would do 2 bottles of the Maquis Plus for this month, and then 1 bottle of Maquis Plus for the next month, and then you should be able to stop it completely. And you should be doing the Healthy Body Digestion Pack on top of that. The Healthy Body Digestion Pack on top of that. 4 times a year when the seasons change, first day of spring, first day of summer, first day of fall, first day of winter, you want to get a bottle of the probiotics and take 2 or 3 of them every night before you go to bed. I don't really think there's anything else for you to do here except give the body more time. 70% improvement, that's quite remarkable. Yeah, we would expect, right, 6 more months, 100%. So I think from switching from the Oxybody Cherry Berry to the Mackie Plus, it will give you a little bit more bang for your buck here to help really kind of finalize and seal the deal. One other thing that you want to consider, and I'm just experimenting with this myself, get the Harmony Health Quanta Water. Get the Harmony Health Quanta Water. The first month, get 8 bottles. 8 bottles of the Harmony Health Quanta Water. And every hour, more or less, while you're awake, take one of those bottles and put a little squirt of the water in your mouth, like a tablespoon, maybe, or an ounce, right? Just a little squirt in your mouth every hour while you're awake for 4 weeks. Hydrating the body with that particular water often can be a game changer and help the nutrients that you're taking find their way inside the cell faster. And so that might be a little secret sauce here that you could add to help move things along. But other than that, you know, if you just Z-Radical or the Fucoid Z, you know, my opinion, in order for that stuff to be effective, you need at least 4 bottles a month. So if you're not going to be taking at least 4 bottles a month, I think it's kind of a waste of money. Because you need to take a lot of that in order to kind of get that to work, right? So a better solution might be the Z-Radical, because the Z-Radical has antioxidants in it in addition to the fucoidin. So I don't know what to tell you there. You either step it up to 4 bottles a month, or not. And I would, however, experiment with the Quanta Water and the Mackie Plus. Okay.
Okay. And on the probiotics, of course, are you thinking the nightly essence?
Yeah, good question. Youngevity has a number of options. There's a nightly essence. There's a Flora FX. There's a root beer belly. I honestly don't know which is better, if any of them are better, one from the other. The only way that you can tell is to try one for 4 weeks and see how you feel, right? So, Rex, we were out of time. Bart, you lost.
Yep, that's it. Thanks, Doc. I appreciate it. God bless, and we'll see everybody next week on your DIY Health Radio on KTFR. Stand by for the stuff. Right.
Hi, my name is Ella, and I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
Hello, friends. I'm Roger Horton, representing Horton Family Prophylactics, an American tradition since 1931. Above all else, my grandfather Buck taught me the value of honesty and straightforwardness. That's why our condoms are unribbed, unflavored, and explicitly for sexual intercourse. That gives you peace of mind. You can always rest assured that a Horton brand condom is a bag for your dick to keep anyone from getting pregnant. I'm not going to obfuscate this situation any further. This product is essentially a bag, or bowl, or trap. Really, bag is the best analogy, that you put on your dick. Sperm gets trapped in there, and if you're familiar with human reproduction, nobody's getting pregnant at that point. So please, put your dick in our bags. Oh, they're also good for keeping diseases off your penis.
Portal to Ascension is